Good morning, everyone, and thank everybody for coming out this morning. We'll have a brief press conference about the incident that happened over at the middle school, and Chief McDavis can go over the timeline of the investigation and everything. This is a police matter. It's been a police matter from day one. I'd like to commend the chief and his department for the outstanding job that they did investigating this issue. And the city of Zachary stands behind the school system and Miss Debbie Bryan 100%. Don't care what you heard. We've always backed this school system, and we will continue to back this school system. Superintendent DeVilliers and I have an outstanding working relationship, always have and always will. Ms. Bryan has been one of the employees of the school system forever. And I've known Ms. Bryan for 45, 50 years. Could not find a better person. So with that, I'll turn it over to Chief McDavid, and he will give you a timeline. Thank y'all.
Good morning. Let me go over the timeline here of when this incident started. On January the 24th, while investigating another case at the Zachary High School, our detectives were there. They were notified by Principal Jordan, Dean of Students Chris Carrier, and a teacher of the victim in this case of the allegations. At that time, Superintendent DeVilliers was notified. Superintendent DeVilliers immediately notified Debbie Bryan at the middle school. Bear this, that the students at the high school now. Ms. Bryan was notified, and the teacher was removed and brought to the school board office. I was also notified by Superintendent DeVilliers about this incident. At that time, the officers began investigating the case. We set up a forensic interview with the Child Advocacy Center, which will be on January 27th on that Monday. The interview was conducted. Our detectives were there while the interview was being conducted. The mother of the victim agreed to give her the phone up that the victim had. In that phone, we had 52,000 pictures, 2,500 videos, 900 chats, and 25,000 messages to go through during this investigation on this case. At that time, the officers began to corroborate the story of the victim. Let it be known that the mother knew 2 days before that it was we were notified, but she wanted to make sure that the victim's statements and everything were corroborated with evidence, that she didn't want to go out and accuse a professional teacher of any wrongdoing unless there was evidence there. As we began to work at the case and look at the phone, there was a lot of disturbing evidence on that phone. And we began looking at that evidence. We brought in East Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's Office because some of the incidents happened outside of our jurisdiction. Now, let me make a note of it. From everything we saw, none of these incidents happened at the school. A lot of the incidents happened during the summertime, but we're not at the school. And I don't go into the case further because, we're not going to try this case in the media public. Our detectives began investigating, issuing subpoenas. The next following Tuesday, after we went through all these emails on February the 4th, we received more evidence from the parent of a letter that was written by the teacher to the victim. We issued more subpoenas and search warrants. We also issued a search warrant and a subpoena to superintendent to search the school. We searched the school when no students were there. Went into the teacher's room and retrieved a few more items of evidence we thought were beneficial for the case. With this information, incorporating with the sheriff's office on these cases, and them working their incidents that happened down in Baton Rouge, we're able to form an arrest warrant with probable cause to arrest Miss Ella Silva, a teacher at the middle school. My men and women worked very hard on this case and assisted with the sheriff's office. Besides the other cases they worked, including one on an armed robbery that happened in Zachary on February 4th, where an individual was lured down here by 3 people and jumped on by 3 males. We had to work that case. So we had a lot of stuff going on. No excuses, but we were working the case. At no time did the victim's mother or father complain to us about anything that we were doing wrong. Now, he's here, Mr. Montgomery's here. At no time did Mr. Montgomery come to me and say, hey, Chief, what's going on with this case? Something ain't right. At no time. He knows who I am. We have an open relationship. We always talk to each other. He had that right to come see me. But no time did he come see me with that. We were made an arrest. At every time and every deal and anything we need from the mother, she was called by Detective Isaiah George, standing back there, who worked the case along with Detective Sims and Sergeant Stevens, who all worked the case. The parents were notified every time we made the arrest or we made any evidence or looking for any other evidence that we needed to corroborate this story. At no time did we hide anything because of pigmentation or any type of thing that was noted here in the media and social media. So, arrest was made. These men and women did their job. And like I say, today I stand with David Brown, who's one of the best principals we had since 2003 here at the middle school. The middle school is in great shape with a lot of great teachers over there at this school. The people and citizens of Zachary came together in the early 2000s to form the school district. Went to D.C. These are everybody in this community, not just white. It was black, white, and whoever represented this city went to D.C. and wanted to form this school district. So 14, 15 years running now, we're the #1 school district. That says a lot here. People from all over the United States, I travel, we talk about our school district here. This is a great place to live. And these men and women behind me and the council and everybody else here work to make this a great place to live and to own a business. Now, if you got questions, that's fine. We'll answer them. But there's a lot to say. No incidents happened at the school. It happened mostly during the summertime, and there might have been a few after a couple schools, but I'm not going to give out dates and times because, you know, the beneficial of, you know, the investigation, excuse me. Like I said, this is where I stand at right now. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Chief, are there potentially any more victims?
We have put out a notice to everybody on our Facebook page into an investigation. If their child has any of these incidents involving this teacher, we ask them to call us, relay the information, and we'll start, you know, the investigation on that.
Do you guys have any other reports of an alleged incident with this teacher?
No, not at this time. But what we saw on these videos, pictures, chats, and messages was disturbing. Was disturbing to see this. But like I said, the only reason David and Brian knew about it because the superintendent called her and had the student removed. That's the only thing she knew about it. And the teacher was removed, brought to the school board, and put on leave while we were doing our investigation.
Chief, how many warrants would you say you guys had between a school, search warrants, whatnot? Because
2 search warrants and arrest warrant, with in conjunction working EBRSO on some of theirs. They had to do search warrants also.
for the superintendent, where do things stand with this teacher?
Well, first of all, I just want to say that I commend the Sheriff's Department, the Zachary Police Department, and also my staff that worked through this case and is working through this case. As Chief said, the teacher is on leave, and we're moving through this investigation on our end, following the letter of the law of what we have to do as a school system, and so that's where we are at this point.
Can you explain that a little further? There are a lot of people who are calling for her termination.
Sure.
Or I'm assuming there are specific rules.
Yes, of course, you know, whether a teacher's a tenured teacher or not, there's different rules for different teachers in this matter. But we have a process, and they have a certain number of days once they receive a letter from us and those type of things. But again, we have to do our investigation, and what we did, we gave the police department and sheriff's department the professional courtesy to allow them to investigate first before we, because we didn't want to you know, mess up the investigation if we had any questions or whatever, you know, between the student and also the employee. So we let them have the case and in the investigation first.
Your response to a teacher within your school district accused of this?
Well, of course, you know, each and every day we work hard to educate the children of Zachary. We want to do the best we can to give them the opportunities to be successful in life. And it is definitely our goal to make sure that we do that. And when people make decisions that are not in accordance with our standards, then we're going to address them harshly.
Anything you'd like to tell the parents out there?
Well, parents, to the parents, I just want them to know that we again, like I said before, we work hard each and every day to educate their children, but most importantly, keep them safe. As I tell my staff all the time, when our kids get on that bus or get dropped off, at the end of the day, we want to give them back to the parents the same way they can. And if they're a little bit smarter, that's good.
With this happening with the school and talking about the students and everything, has there been any counseling available for any of the students, or any assembly or anything, talking to these students about what they can do or how to help them process all this?
Yes, the counselors are working with kids individually, and also we have a few social workers that work for us, but we have many counselors, and they're taking it as needed basis.
I know that the chief is saying that he is, sticking behind the principal of the middle school. Your thoughts on the unfortunate exchange through email with a council member?
Sure. I can tell you that I've had a conversation with Ms. Bryan about that, but here's the thing. In talking to her and also talking to Councilman Montgomery, I think sometimes we as adults, we need to sit down and discuss those things. And on 2 different occasions, I attempted that, and but Councilman Montgomery, felt that at the time he didn't want to do that. So,
what do you say in response to people calling for her resignation or calling for her to be removed from her position, and there being a rally in support of that?
well, let me just say this. I'm gonna stand behind my employees 100% until I have a reason, or there's a reason that we need to do something different, and I hadn't seen that. So at this point, I'm in support of my employees at this point, 100%.
How long was it before you guys notified parents of the investigation?
The parent? Oh,
The parents, like parents.
well, I'm not really remembering exactly. We did put something out in the media, to you guys, but we sent something home on Friday once we had the allegations, or actually once the teacher was arrested.
Y'all have anything else? Once again, from a city standpoint, the only person authorized to speak from the city administration is myself. So the city stance on this, mine personally, is we're going to support Debbie, Brian, 100%, like we've always supported the school system here. I've supported the school system since I graduated high school in 1977. School system's always been great here. We will not let anything divide this city. We're together, always been together, and we will get through this. There again, I want to commend Chief McDavid and his people, and also Superintendent DeVilliers for the way he handled this. It's an unfortunate incident. I think everybody will agree with that, but at the end of the day, this city will continue to move forward. This school system will continue to move forward, and we'll move forward as one people. That's the only way you can do that. So if you don't have any more questions, thank everybody for coming out.
I have another
Okay.
question. What do you, and I know you're saying that the city will stay together and move forward through this unfortunate incident that someone is accused of doing. What do you say to those people that are saying that the city is not together, that the city is divided?
I'd like to show proof of that. I can hear allegations all day long, but you ride around Zachary and you see the support this community gets from everybody. I don't think anybody in this room will sit here and tell you that this city's divided. Like I said, I've been here all my life.
I guess I was gonna kind of ask the same thing, that there really has become an issue now that, hey, is the city divided? And some are pointing the
NAACP is supposed to allegedly get involved tomorrow, that the hashtags are only for certain cases and not for other cases.
I would like to see that proven. I mean, I can sit here and say anything, but my belief is that show me the facts where it's all one-sided either way. And I'm pretty sure that Chief McDavid can answer that better than me, but I don't think it's all one-sided. And people that want to make that one-sided are wrong. This community's never been like that, ever. And like I say, I'm 60 years old, and I spent 60 years of my life here. My daddy's 89, and he spent 89 years of his life here. You know, and I think this community comes together better than any community anywhere around. And if you look at things that we do together, it's never one against the other, ever. Every community event we have is attended by everybody in this community. Everybody's welcome. You know, I go places and give talks all the time, and I tell people all the time, a city divided cannot flourish. Look around Zachary. Tell me it's not flourishing. I dare anybody in this room to say this city is not flourishing, because it is. And the only way it can flourish is if everybody pulls on the same way. You can't have trains going in opposite directions. And this city's never, ever done that, to my knowledge. And like I said, I'm 60. So sure, we've had bad times. But, you know, name some place that hasn't. So what I'm saying to the people of Zachary is we're going to stand behind this school system. We're going to stand behind Debbie Bryan. And there again, we're not going to let a few people tear this community apart. It's too important to the health of this community to all be one people. And I say that everywhere I go, every speech I give. This is about one community, one. And I can't say that enough. And I think Chief believes the same thing. So.
You want me to address the hashtag incident? Councilman Montgomery had brought the issue up to me, and like I told him, to come out of office and we'll talk about it. He hasn't come out of office, but we have addressed that issue. And we're going to scale back and look at it. It hadn't been one-sided, because I know I looked at every issue, I look at every email, I look at every Facebook post we put on there. It's not been one-sided. Okay, and it's not directed at one nationality, race, or anything like that. It's directed to the criminal. That we will not stand here in Zachary, that you come in here and burglarize our city, our cars, and steal, and go to our Walmart, and we spend half our time over there robbing our city here. We got things to do here. Now, we have addressed it, and we made some changes there, and we're gonna be okay, and we're gonna go forward. And that's, you know, like I said, my door's always been open. This whole thing can be sound by people just talking, but we didn't. And that's why I'm here today, to address that situation and tell you what we did as a police department and what we're going to do in the future as a police department.
Chief, what are the changes you made when it comes to the hashtag?
Well, we don't cut back. I think some people get upset and hurt that we put their family members on there, and it might be degrading. So we took and we met today, and we've been meeting all week about it. And we're not going to do that. We don't put your picture on it. If you get arrested, Zachary, your picture's going to be on Facebook, you know, and the charges you're being charged with. So we cut back. We understand Councilman Montgomery's concerns about that, and we sat down and addressed it. And that's what we've done. You know, we're always open, and we're always room for improvement for this police department, and that's what we're about. And that's what we're going to continue doing. I've been here 50 years of my life. You know, my son's here. He's grew up here all their life. We've been in the school system here. My father was the recreation director here. He's been here all his life. You know, I've always been open to him. When his family home burnt, thousands of dollars of my family's clothes were given to his family to help the family out. So there's no inequalities in this department or with me. I'm there to help everybody in this community. Thank you.
Quick question. Why do you believe we had to have this news conference?
Because I wanted to set the record straight of what really happened. There was nobody hiding nothing because of pigmentation. I don't conduct my business that way. If you look around me, I'm in a diverse group of men and women here at this police department. My assistant chief is black. My captain is black. Look at the detectives. We're a diverse department here. And we have been together all our lives here, especially me and him, almost 30 years together. And that. We don't conduct our business that way, and we will never conduct our business that way. And he can tell you that. I don't do that. And when people need me, when he has his Easter egg hunt at the Walls Road Park, I donate, I give my time to these people. I play softball with them. So there's no inequalities with David McDavid. and I've been here all my life. I grew up with everybody in this city. I've been to every school, and my kids been through all these schools here. My grandkids are at these schools. I wouldn't take it from anywhere in the world but being Zachary P. We are Zachary. Thank y'all.
What,
Go ahead. Sorry.
what's next for y'all in this investigation?
We're going to continue looking at our evidence, turn it over to the DA's office, and they'll go from there. We're finishing our reports up, getting all our information in, and a search warrant returned into the DA's office, and it's going to be up to the DA's office to prosecute the case from here.
Good question.
Yes, sir.
So it's been suggested there may be more to come. Councilman had said last week that, that there may actually be more about the school's response to this. I guess it's more a question to the superintendent.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Do you think that, you're doing your own internal investigation. Do you feel comfortable with how the school responded to this, if there wasn't a chance this could have been brought out earlier?
Well, we didn't know anything about this until the 24th when that student, reached out to that teacher. And at this point, that's the only thing we know.
Was there something as far as like when the student reached out to the teacher? Did the teacher see signs of something? Do we know what prompted the student to reach out to the teacher?
As Chief McDavid said earlier, I think the student reached out to his parents a couple days before, and I'm not real sure what prompted the student to come forward to the teacher, but that's what happened, and so that's why the teacher immediately brought the student to up front to report.
When you guys caught one of the allegations, the teacher was removed that day?
Probably within 20 minutes of us finding out.
And I guess I might be a little confused. Can you, one more time, so this teacher, I know a lot of people are calling for her resignation or her termination. So is she tenured and there's a certain process that has to be followed? Or?
Well, I'm not going to talk about the personnel matters in this, but
Or just in general, for a teacher who's been there 10 years, how's the process work?
yeah, they have a little bit more of a process, of course, and offhand, the length of the process is I don't know the exact time. My HR director is handling that, and but yes, a tenured teacher does have a more of due process.
So she is tenured, do we know?
I think she is.
Hey, I'd like to answer your question again about why the press conference today. Chief McDavid and I have spoken about this. We don't want to have any information out in the public unless we're 100% sure of the facts. It took 2 weeks to have it. They arrested her Friday, or didn't they, Chief? Was it Friday? We don't work on Friday, or else we would have done this Friday. We wanted all the facts to get to the public in Zachary, the citizens of Zachary, to say, hey, this is what happened. Quit believing what you read on Facebook. I don't do Facebook for that very reason. It's easy to hide behind a keypad and say anything you want to about anybody. Man up and come see us. I have an open door policy just like Chief does. I'm probably the easiest person in Zachary to find. If I'm not in my office, my administrative assistant, Kathy Brumley, can find me within 5 minutes anywhere. So to not come by and speak to us to me is just you wanting to do something else. But that's why we waited until the day to have the press conference. We wanted everything, all the facts to be in evidence, and we wanted to sit down with Superintendent DeVilliers this morning and talk to him. So that's why.
Have any of you guys had a meeting with him?
No,
Have you guys reached out to him?
no. He knows where my office is.
Have you reached out to them? So at the end of the day, I'm going to be absolutely honest and ask the elephant in the room. Is this personal? Because to me, it looks like we've got one person here, one person here.
Nothing
Is this
personal. Nope. I don't do that. There again, does not, Councilman Montgomery speaks on his own behalf, does not speak on the city. None of my council members speak on behalf of the city. They speak at their, it's their individual issue.
Is this a conversation that probably should have happened behind closed doors? That
There again, I can't answer him. I don't do Facebook. So for me to find out about it, it was probably a couple of days before I found out about it. I just don't look at Facebook. I'm not a Facebook person. I'm old. I just don't believe in it.
So what about having the conversation now?
He knows where my office is. I'm the easiest person to find.
Steps away from each other.
Huh?
Like,
I'm not gonna have a conversation about this in the
you
public.
don't have to, but you're steps away from each other. Once we're done here, you could.
Again, my office is right there,
Why did you reach out? to
5
them?
steps.
Why did you make a post? Did you try to reach out to them?
Y'all want the truth.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you why I didn't reach out to them. Number one, they already knew how I felt about this whole issue. It wasn't a race issue. It was never about race. I have a background in substance abuse counseling. I counsel everybody. It was a human issue because I was like, you shouldn't tease people when they're at their lowest point. That was the point I was making. And number one, I was in contact with the family because the family felt like they couldn't reach out to nobody but me. They contacted me because they felt all alone. They felt like they was being bullied by the police and by the school board. So tell me this, how can I reach out to the police at that point? I had to protect the family. That mama was crying. I looked in her eyes and I told her I would fight for her. And Jesus
But
said
now the
something to the kids.
NAACP's involved.
Cause I'm gonna tell y'all something. Zachary ain't the picture that they paint me. That's not Zachary.
So you're saying there's.
There's
this
another
division.
part of Zachary that they're not telling you about. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm a counselor. We can't be in denial about this no more. We have to admit we got a problem so that we can work on it. And yeah, it looks bad for me up here, but we're gonna work on this problem. We're gonna fix these issues in our schools, in our community, and I promise you, once we come out the fire, we're gonna be all right. But we're gonna address these issues. See, they're telling you it don't hurt, but it hurts us. It hurts. I had people calling me, it hurts, that hurts us. It hurts us that every time something happens, you know, you have to see your own people, you know, they will be blasted. But nobody's getting blasted on the news, on nothing. I just made a point. The reason why I made that point was to show them that this is why you don't do this. And when I made the point, Debbie Bryant felt like she could put me in my place with an email. See, when Mr. Scott reached out to me, he should have been talking to her about sending me that inappropriate email. We have a bunch of counselors on here counseling. Do you think any one of them would have got that email? Come on, you never talked to me a day in my life, but you introduced yourself when you were disgraced, and my constituents. Let me tell you about social media. Social media is part of my platform. That's how I got elected. That's where my constituents are.
So what? Thank y'all.
Well, I don't think there's a need to leave because I think.
Thank y'all.
Questions.
So we together? Are we together?
Well, that's the question. So right now, the man is here. Why can't you have the conversation?
We'll go in the office when I don't have it out here in public.
Well, thank you. Well, why don't you invite him to your office? We just did. How? You didn't say, hey, can you come to the
Zachary
office?
is not together. Zachary
So basically what you
is
just
not
said
together.
about the city being together, this is a perfect example of it not being together. So are you asking?
Mine
But,
right there.
but,
Come in my office.
but saying, hey, can you go to my office? Not yelling at him saying, go to my office. There are two different things.
Body language tells everything. Go to his office for what?
Have the conversation.
Yeah, start the conversation. Because obviously they
I'm
want
not
to do
trying to get
something.
bullied, man.
You're not being
Oh,
bullied.
yeah. The whole thing, like, the whole, it's all, they should have came and talked to me before they sent that letter out. They knew how I felt. I went to them and told them, they blew me off.
Councilman Jones, please come to my office.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you.